go past that. So the opening bid will need to be at least $1,000, and the bidding should increase in increments of at least $100. So we will now open it up to bids. Then if nobody bids, get yourself a nice piece of property. Congratulations. Are any of you planning on bidding?
No, I didn't even know it was going on.
Okay.
Too much money to invest to get it livable. No thanks.
I mean, nobody got to walk through it and see what it was. See, that's just it. I'd like to have been able to go see it, but I didn't know you were even doing this.
Notice was in the paper.
Yeah, nobody asked to see it
Yeah.
that I know of.
So, seeing no bidders, the auction is closed.
All right, we will move on. Claims, report, minutes.
Jeremy, you might tell them those changes on the,
Oh, yes, sorry, I hadn't got to that page
oh,
yet.
I'm sorry.
Note changes on the claims for Joanna Blake. The balance of her water deposit should be $27.47. And then add Greg Buckley for wages of $707.13. And your new total would be $7,696.68.
Again, I didn't catch it.
707.13.
What is that?
Wow. Who's right?
This
What
is
was
yours.
the total again, please?
772.
Oh, not bad.
What are you looking at, Tammy?
The grand total.
Your total is not right.
My,
Jeremy's is right.
she's got one from here though.
Right, but that's just Greg's
Okay.
and I changed.
So,
I had
yes.
to change.
The grand total would be $7,696.68.
68, okay.
Yes, that is right.
All right,
Okay.
gotcha. And there was a payment that came out July 28th for your loan.
Okay.
If you look at under the lagoon project, $27,600.
Okay, you see that?
Those are just automatically coming out of the bank.
Okay.
Thank you for putting that out to us.
I'll make a motion to accept the claims treasurer's reports and minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Accept claims, treasurer's report and minutes.
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And I vote aye. Angie absent. Nuisance properties. I asked everybody to go around and make a rough list. Everybody got their list, right?
I have it.
Okay.
I have a list of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe I don't know the addresses.
My thoughts was I and somebody else could get together with the lists, and my thoughts were if they were on more than one list, they ought to get a letter. Anybody want to volunteer, and then we'll decide a night to get together and go through them. obviously, there can't be 3 of us there.
No.
But then we'll make a final list, give it to the rest of the board members, get their okay, you know, and then
Yeah, understand.
get him,
Okay.
have Ben send the letters, but
Who's on the list?
we don't know.
We're making one right now.
Well,
So-
compiling,
Pardon?
You will-
compiling the list.
We're compiling, yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna start right here on Main Street with a couple of them. I think, okay?
No,
No, what do you want me to do?
make a list,
You want
write it
this?
out,
Okay, I will do.
and then
Hand it to
hand them
you?
in,
Okay, you're gonna
and
address them
then
later.
me and somebody
Okay.
else will go through
Okay,
and
all right,
compile
I
one
will.
grand
I
list.
get the list on
Okay.
there for you.
Do you want me to go over the process once we get that?
You bet.
Okay, so the way it works is, until you're prepared to financially take care of some of this, you really shouldn't
Get
press
to-
too hard on
that's
these.
what I'm
But the way it
thinking.
works is, once we get the list, in most of the other towns and villages, we pick the worst one that everyone agrees on first, and we deem it a nuisance. We send them notice and say, at the meeting, such and such a date, we determine that your house is a nuisance. For these reasons, here's a copy of the ordinance we think you're in violation of. And then we give them the opportunity to request a hearing. If they do request a hearing, we usually have the hearing at the next meeting. And at that point, they can come and then they make their case for why their house is a nuisance, or most of the time, if everything works out great, by that point, the person has
In the process.
fixed it or has at least made an effort, and then the board gives them another 30 days or whatever. If they don't, that's when you get into trouble, because usually the only way you can take care of it realistically is for the village to pay to go in and clean it up, and then you can assess that against them and try to collect it. But most of the
Is
time,
that pretty tough?
it's really tough. It's not tough to get a judgment, but a lot of people don't have money,
Yeah.
and so it's hard to get
Okay.
that. So you attach a lien to their house, and
Yeah.
if they never sell it, there's
But
nothing you can
they're
do.
not.
Is there a
Right.
difference between nuisance property that is uninhabitable versus a property that just needs mowed?
That's what I was questioning.
Well, no, I mean, as long as they still fit under the nuisance ordinance, which they probably
They would,
do,
don't you think?
then they aren't. But it would be better to go after the one that's uninhabitable, because at that point, a lot of times you can say to them, listen, here's what we got. Rather than us going through this whole thing, maybe you would consider just deeding the property to the village, letting us take care of it, and do it that way. Because, realistically, going after somebody for that money, if they don't have any money,
I'm not
you
gonna-
get the
I'm
judgment
not
as long as you
borrowing.
want. You can't do it. You can't get, there is in the ordinance a penalty of $100, I think it is in your ordinance, every 24 hours that they're in violation. But that would involve filing a case in district court, which is obviously fairly expensive too.
Yeah.
So, and then if somebody doesn't have that much money, what are you going to do? So, it's better to work with them, get everybody on board, see if you can get somebody to work with you and at least make an effort. If they don't, then maybe talk to them about just deeding it to the village, and then, you can do a lot of things with it. You can tear it down and do with it what you want. Sometimes some of the villages, use it to practice for the fire departments and things like that, so. But the next step is pick the one or two that you're gonna do, but know that if you get to the point where you're tearing one down, you're looking at least probably $9,000 or $10,000.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
And
so,
we do on the grocery store now, which
Right.
could be a tremendous expense. You don't think it'd be doable to talk or write a letter about somebody mowing on some of these properties? I'm hearing a lot of that.
yeah, you can do that, but that's administrative. I mean,
Okay,
that
that's
can,
what I'm
yeah.
wondering. Yeah, if we could
Yeah.
get some of that cleaned up even. before
Yeah,
fall.
and just, I don't have it in front of me, what's your ordinance on grass length?
Same one that follows the state. that's
Yeah.
about, yeah.
It's
well,
12 inches,
I
yeah.
think that's what
Whatever
it
the
is.
state
Like Ruskin
says.
just changed theirs to 8
They made it
inches.
shorter.
They made it shorter, but you have to go by what it is now. So I can provide Donna with a form,
Okay.
and then that's what she will send out. And then what you would do is, if they don't do it, if they don't reply or fix it within 10 days, then you can have somebody mow it and then send them
Okay.
a bill for it.
Okay.
And Donna, I'll just send you a form.
Okay.
Something I wanted to ask you here. I don't know what it was.
But yeah, you don't need that to go through the nuisance stuff.
That's
Just
what I was
right,
thinking,
yeah.
but I know we have several of them that definitely need.
What
some-
Carlton does is, they just make a list and send everybody who's, you know, there, who's at that level, everyone gets a letter.
Okay.
So that may be something, just get a list of everyone whose grass is that high, and, you know, even if you get some people that will actually take care of it, you're better off than you were.
Right.
Okay, okay.
But I'll give her the form.
Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you, Jim. We worked with your dad, it was quite a number of years ago, wasn't it, Jim? And we actually had 3 properties given to us. One was used extensively for training,
Mhm.
and the other 2 had gotten bad enough, we just had to have them, they burned them for
Yeah.
us. And then we cleaned them up, and then we sold them for the money, you know. We didn't
Right.
lose any money on it because they were sold, and
That's what, we just did 2 of those in Ruskin in the last month,
yeah, we came out fine on that.
Yeah, and that's what we've done in Deschler, but Deschler, after the flood and stuff, they're having to slow down on
Did they?
a lot of that.
Okay.
Carlton has done 1 in the last 3 years, but that's all the money they've had.
Yeah.
It's expensive, it's a lot, because you got, and you don't have a lot of choices. You've got Hins and Hebron, you've got the people in Chester, Nooch, and then Jerry Hopkin.
Mm-hmm. Well, I gave him a name of an Ohio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, and there's some in Fairbury, a couple too, but I think they'd be costly too.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally, that's why you want to start with the worst ones, because those are the ones that people are more likely to maybe just be happy for somebody to take it off their hands. They don't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
It's overwhelming for them, and then you give them that option to just deed it over to the village, and some people will just jump at it. But yeah, compile your list, give me the worst couple that you want to do, and then we'll start on that.
Okay. Okay. Sounds great for me.
All right, we'll move on. I guess all the old grocery store property is I will report that we now own it. Well,
Well,
sort of.
I know what you mean, process, yeah.
The sheriff says it takes about 30 days for their paperwork to get done, and then we'll get that, and then we'll technically own it. But right now, we were the winning bid. So,
Okay.
all right, we'll move on to water repairs. Last month, we had Sergeant Drilling here about the
I told you.
controls for our well.
Mhm.
I would like to revisit that. They gave us 2 options. We kind of leaned toward the 460 volt 3-phase option, which is a $12,521.27. I'll call it a bid estimate on what it would take to get the controls up to date, which did not include a rough estimate of $4,000 for Norris to get it to that state. So he kind of told us it'd be in the $20,000 range. Yeah, I had a month to kind of think about it. You'll see on our bills that we spent just shy of $1,300 putting Band-Aids on it again.
And I was looking at our,
And that ain't the first time we put Band-Aids on it.
yeah, I was looking at our year's expenses too, so boy.
No, that's the one he had. At the meeting.
I guess the only thing, it's not encouraging to me, but the only thing we need to think is a lot of villages and cities are having infrastructure problems. We're not
Well,
the only one.
and where we only have the one well.
Yes. Mhm.
When it goes down, we'll be in a world of hurt.
Emergency manager's gonna pull in with some defense force. I always, Jeremy, still think about the fact that this well didn't cost us anything because the Superfund paid for that for us because of that contamination down there. So, you know, we have to look at that blessing.
Right. And the problem with that was they reused
Yeah,
our old
they did.
controls,
Still,
and that's the issue we have.
I know, but we still
Right,
should be
no.
thankful.
We could be out a lot more money, so.
Mhm.
So we just need to make a decision if we're gonna go
Mhm.
forward.
Right.
Yeah, let's see those. Mhm.
That's the one.
That's the one that, now, that doesn't have a north. We use what's there, right?
Right,
Okay,
but it's also,
yeah, when we need to get a generator,
15,000.
when we need to get a generator and everything on it, it's not gonna be what we
right,
really need.
right. Yeah, in the long run, doing this will save us money when we go to get a new, or
Get-
get another well if it goes into that well house.
Mhm.
This is replacing apples to apples now. It's just
Basically.
more expensive.
Right,
That's cheaper to
Right.
go with what we will need for the future.
right.
Well,
That's kind of
basically,
a
yeah,
no-brainer.
you're just almost looking at the dollar to dollar there, basically.
We also need to buy a generator then.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to get a generator right away.
Well, yeah, I'm sure eventually we
What, well, my thoughts were, when we go to put the new well in, we would include the generator into that project.
Mhm. Or I wonder if.
Because, and with this, they would wire it to where we could hook a generator on. You know, if we lost power for an extended period, we could rent a generator
And put, yeah,
and put it on there, so.
like the civil defense had them
Right.
help us if we.
Right.
Okay, okay. What, are we seeing anything out there as far as any grants to help us with generators, because we only have one well? And our generator went on this well down here, that's where it was at.
I have not looked into that.
Okay, well, yeah,
Well, the security grant that we applied for,
Oh, okay, yeah, that would cover it? Or
that, you could do
help
that
cover.
with, yes, but you were denied this year.
Okay, there you
okay,
go.
so that puts.
So the next year, it could come around next year. And you,
Okay.
I mean, even though we put for GPS and the lines, you can change it
Right.
to generator next year.
Okay.
And that just pays up to, I think it's $11,000.
Okay,
So,
well,
Sounds better than none.
yeah, I agree.
So, if we want to move, or have Sergeant move ahead on getting our controls up to where they need to be, I would entertain a motion to have them begin.
Jim, what's your
don't like it, but I think.
Well, I think you just,
I
we're
think
prolonging
we-
it again.
Yes, that's, I don't like things.
No, I agree
I don't,
with that.
I think we have to do it, so I'll move that we accept this bid from Sergeant Billy.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to accept Sergeant's bid on the well controls. James?
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
I vote aye. All right, move on to, yeah, we'll leave that there. Marlon Watson is ready to do our budget, so we need to appoint him to do said budget, if you want to have him do it.
I'll make a motion that we have Marlon Watson for our budget for the next fiscal year.
I'll second that motion.
Okay,
That's what I'm,
motion's been made and seconded to have Marlon Watson prepare our budget. James?
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Tammy?
yes.
And I vote aye. While we're on Marlin, he would also file an audit waiver for this year. But we would need to have a motion to have him do that. Unless you want to have another audit. We had one.
We just had one.
We just had one.
We just had one, so I'll move we do an audit waiver.
Okay.
I'll second that motion. Let me do it, audit paper.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to have Marlon file our audit waiver. James?
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And I vote aye. Ben, do you have any other?
Nope.
Okay. Alan isn't here, but we've had a few diggers hotline. I don't know how far along they are on the cell phone tower, but he's had to do the one call on all that, so. And we just had another one, so they should be nearing completion, I would think. And that's pretty much all he had, so. If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. James?
Yes.
Marge?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
I vote aye.